Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a couple of weeks, but it's been a couple of crazy weeks. I have a lot to tell you about, so welcome back. And if you are new here, I make fitness, nutrition, and the occasional travel content. Guys, for those of you that watched my last YouTube video, how much nicer does my hair actually look? I feel like it's gotten so much shinier in the last couple weeks, and it's so much softer, less frizz. This is the result of the heatless curls, and it's not terrible. It's not my favorite. I'm waiting for my hair to grow because it still feels really short when it's curly, but we're making progress. So I am filming this video from Montenegro, Budva, Montenegro. We've made it. We're at our new apartment. But before I show you around, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about how we got here. Happy Valentine's Day. We're hoping that by the end of today, we're gonna actually have time to celebrate Valentine's Day, because if you watched my last vlog, today is travel day. We're headed to Budva, Montenegro, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong today. We don't know what's gonna happen, so wish us luck. So in order for everything to work out perfectly, we literally needed a series of miracles to happen. The first step was just taking ourselves to the airport. So we stayed at Aiya Napa, which is about a 40-minute drive to the airport. We had a rental car, and we were just hoping nothing bad happens on the way to the airport. No tickets, no accidents, so that we can return the car without any problems. Car returned, and we're taking the shuttle to the airport. The second miracle was for our first flight to actually be on time so that we can transfer and catch our second flight, and hopefully they transfer our luggage as well.
Lost in the city lights, our love's electric, right? You make me feel alive.
We made it on time for once.
I know July is gone. You make me feel at home in the neon glow.
And for the first time in the last, I would say, 2 years, our flight was actually on time. We boarded the flight and sat there thinking is this for real? It's actually leaving at the exact time it's supposed to leave. Crazy. So after our first flight, everything was going so well. We arrived in Belgrade, and we didn't even have to do customs. They just directed us to the next lounge, so it was a super quick and easy transfer. Our second flight, however, was late. It was late about an hour. But at that point, we didn't really care because we knew our luggage was going to get transferred and we didn't have any other flights to catch. We were thinking, everything is going so well. If only our car will start once we get back to Montenegro, because we left our car in a garage for the last 3 months. So we landed, we found our luggage, we grabbed a taxi and headed directly to the garage where we parked our car. This is probably the most nerve-wracking part of our trip. So let's see if she's gonna be there, if she's gonna be intact, and if she's gonna start for us today. Oh my God. How's she looking? Is she okay? She looks good. Completely dead. So miracle number 3 didn't quite happen for us. The car didn't start. We had actually thought ahead of time and gotten cables in our car so that it would be easy for someone to jumpstart us. All right, so current situation is that the car will not start. We tried to boost her. Our taxi driver came, we plugged in the cables, and she's just not responding whatsoever. So now we are waiting for a mechanic to come and take a look at her. Hopefully he can jumpstart her. And if not, we're gonna need to get a new battery, stay the night, and deal with this tomorrow because currently all of the garages are closed. The mechanic showed up about 30 minutes later, only to confirm what we feared, that we were gonna need a new battery. Luckily, they were able to get a new battery as soon as next morning, and they were willing to come to the garage and change it for us, which was absolutely amazing. At this point, it was like 6 o'clock. We had a really long day. We were tired. It was starting to get chilly outside. Now we just had one last problem to solve, and that was to find a place to stay. We didn't have much choice because it was so late in the evening. Almost no one would take us unless it was a hotel. Finally, with the help of our contact into that, we were able to secure a place in the same building where our car was parked. It was literally the perfect place for us. We couldn't have asked for anything better. We were so close to our car, and we also knew the area because we stayed there last time. Basically, the woman who helped us, we hopped into her car, we went to get the keys. I honestly didn't know how to thank her. She went out of her way to find a mechanic for us, to find us a place to stay. She previously found us the garage where we could park our car. Like, I don't know what we would have done without her. So the next morning, after a really good night's sleep, we went down to the Tibet Marina. We got her a nice bottle of wine with some chocolates to thank her for everything she had done for us. The next morning, the mechanic changed our battery, our car started. We were beyond happy at that point. However, he did mention that we really needed an oil change and that our brake pads were pretty used up. He gave us a quote and told us that he was available the next day at 9 o'clock if we wanted to bring the car in. Next morning, we drove back to Tibet. We left the car at the mechanic and it was gonna take about 2 hours, so we walked back to town. At one point, the mechanic texted us. He's like, "Your tires? They're terrible. It's not safe to drive with them." And we were there like, uh-oh, no, there's gonna be more repairs. At this point, we were like, oh, this car is starting to cost us quite a bit. So, turns out our tires were totaled, guys. To be fair, they were really old. They were from 2016 and 2017, and when we went to the garage, the guy had put our car up and circled all the damages on the tires. He was basically saying that we couldn't drive back to Budva. It was too far to go. 40 minutes in this heat, the tires would expand and explode. We knew our tires are bad, but we didn't know they were that bad. I was thinking, how did we even get here? Like, we drove the car across Europe. Like, we came from Corsica and drove all the way to Montenegro in November with those same tires. It is a miracle that nothing happened to us. We decided to change the tires, obviously. But he said it would take 5 to 15 days until they get changed, so we had to find a taxi back to Budva and then come back another day. This is technically one of the best ways this could have turned out, and we weren't even upset about all the repairs. Just to quickly complete the story, you guys, literally a couple days later, the mechanic texted us. He went and drove to Podgorica himself to go get our tires. He really took care of our car and really saved us when we needed it. So after all of these repairs, our car is ready. It's brand new, it's driving really well, we're super happy, and we finally settled into our place here in Budva, which I'm gonna show you right now.